Howdy and welcome back to the road to the Great Canadian Open Winter 2026. My name is Clarence and this is my video series as you follow me as I paint up my Brotherhood Without Banners army 1 hour a day, 1 day at a time. Of course, we're actually at a point where the army is completely done and I'm just working on the activation markers that have been 3D printed for me. They've been taking quite a while and it's been kind of funny because I thought I would get done in 1 or 2 sessions and here we are 3 or 4 sessions in and still not done yet. But I want to get them done. I've been actually sidetracked by other projects and I do want to finish them. I've also filmed a couple battle reports which I want to put out as well. So before we get into the progress, the whole point of this video series was for me to show you how to paint an army efficiently, I guess. For new painters, new hobbyists who are apprehensive about painting, or for existing hobbyists who have kind of no motivation to paint, I think the key is just to be regular, to say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to get this done today, in a week, in a month, but if I work on it on a regular basis, if I chip away at it, eventually it will get done. So I worked, I should say, an hour a day, but not everyone has that time, right? Some people have other things going on in their lives. You may have a partner, I should say. You may have a kid. You may have a really busy job. You may have other things that you want to do instead of paint. What I encourage you to do is to find pockets of time. It may be hard to find 1 hour consecutive, but if you can't, can you shave down other activities? Can you watch TV for half an hour less? Can you be on your phone for half an hour less? Can you be on YouTube for half an hour less, right? And use that time instead to paint. And if you paint for half an hour, it's still progress, and then maybe you can paint 30 minutes later and that becomes an hour, or maybe you can paint every other day for an hour. But find a schedule, find a program that works for you, because by chipping away at it, small chips become big chips and eventually things get finished. So but you got to work, you got to start somewhere. So chip. The second piece, folks, is please come to my tournament. So my tournament is coming up soon. We are actually approaching the middle of November and we're about 2 months out now, exactly 2 months out from the Great Canadian Open. So if you are from the Greater Toronto area or if you're from outside, do buy a ticket. The link is in the description box below and come to the event. It's going to be a 2-day tournament, 5 games. It's going to be a great time. We've got lots of cool prizes lined up. And we're looking for players from all over. So if you're from Kitchener-Waterloo, from London, from Windsor, if you're from Kingston, if you're from Montreal, if you're from Ottawa, Gatineau, Quebec City, if you're from Barrie, North Bay, and you play the game and you want to meet new people, come on down and take part. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are approaching halfway sold the tickets, folks, so do get yours before they sell out. We are only having a capacity for 32 people, and I do believe we will sell out by then. So do get your ticket before it's too late. We're only 2 months out, folks. We'll hopefully see you there. So with that all said, let's take a look at where we're at and where we're going. Alrighty, so this is where we're picking up. The swords are pretty much done. I do want to take a bright silver and highlight the edge of the blade on the right side here. But what I really want to get done today is the flames. Now, I've said that before. The flames are base coated, ready for the contrast paints to blend in. But before that, I think I'm going to actually, this is painful, go back and do white on these kind of cross flame sections here. So it's a bit tedious because there's 2 sections on each side of the blade, but those I believe are flames and not rock, so I do want to do them because I'm going to use the contrast paint there. So we're going to do that first, folks, and then hopefully we can actually get back in and do some wet blending with some contrast paints. So 1 hour work starts now. Let's go. 20 minutes later, we are back and we are done painting the little flames on the base. I painted pretty much one side at a time, and then it went back to do a double layer, and surprisingly, it only took 20 minutes. So we are now done with the white, and we're ready to go on to the actual flames. So the plan here is to use my yellow and orange contrast paints. I think I bought a red as well, and we're going to just do kind of a wet blend. So we're going to use the yellow first. We're going to keep white near the tip, and we're going to paint around 80% with yellow, and we're going to streak our way out following the lines of the flames. And then as it's still wet, we're going to go back with orange, and maybe we're going to paint roughly half of it orange, again streaking with the yellow to blend it together. And then we're going to go with the red for the last maybe 25% along the tips, and maybe we'll do a little bit of black once it's all dry to present some sort of like charred, smoky residue coming off it. That's the plan anyway. The risk here is that because I'm doing 8 of these things, 8 of these activation banners, that is,
there's a chance that the contrast might dry and they won't blend very well. So we'll see if we can hopefully avoid that, because I don't want streakiness. I would like some sort of blend, but we'll see. We're not sure. We're going to leave the bottom for now and just focus on the blades themselves. And I think we have to work both sides at the same time. Maybe, well, we'll try. We'll try to see if we can do one side at a time, because I think if we do both, it'll definitely dry out by the time we get back to it. But we'll find out. So see you soon after the paint. 10 minutes later, we are done with one of them. So we applied the yellow on, and I very quickly could tell that it was drying too quickly, and there's no way I'd get a nice wet blend if I did all 8 at the same time. So if the yellow was done, I applied the orange, and the orange came on a little bit streaky, so then I went back with the yellow and kind of blended between the yellow and the orange. And on one side, it was wet enough that it created a nice wet blend, but the other side was a bit streakier. But with time, the paints kind of reactivated and got liquidy again and made a nice blend. And then I applied some Blood Angel Red on the tips. That blended in quite nicely, but I still went back with some orange to try and blend the red and orange together. So when I say blend, it's not a particular fine technique. I'm just literally kind of wiping the colors together and hoping they blend together. And with contrast paints, it was pretty darn easy. So I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I may go back with some black towards the tips. And of course I had to pick the one banner that's got a broken hilt. But it took 10 minutes. I've got 7 to go, which means that's going to take a whole hour plus just do that. I've done 30 minutes work right now, so I'm owed 30 minutes left. So 30 minutes means I should be able to do 3 more banners, which unfortunately is not enough to play with, because I want to paint at least 5 for my 8 activation list. So I think that's our goal today, is do 3 more, and then we'll do the rest next session. Plus, I need to do the edging on the blade anyway. So we're still at least another session out. So we'll come back after half an hour, and hopefully we'll see 4 batters done in total. See you soon. 30 minutes later, pretty much to the T, we are done 3 more of these activation banners, and they're looking pretty cool. So I've done both sides. I don't really think I have the ability with only 2 hands to show you that, but I've done both sides, and they're blended enough that I'm happy with. It's not perfect here and there, of course, but as an overall effect, it's pretty good. So we're going to need at least 1 more session, 40 minutes to do the guys in the back, plus I do the flames in the bottom, plus I have to edge highlight the blades here with some edging, and then we'll see if I want to do anything to the black bases. I mean, they look kind of cool as is, so I may leave them like so, but we'll see as we get closer to the end. So we're going to stop here, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the painting series. Hopefully you've been inspired to paint as well. And we got some bonus content. We got some battle reports, but this time around we're trying something new. We're actually going to be trying the new Bolton. So the Bolton patch dropped, and I'm filming this actually a few days or maybe a week afterwards, where they corrected all the typos and patched them to be a little bit stronger. But the next game was going to be pre-patch, so it's just going to be with slightly nerfed rules. But we'll see how they play out, and you'll see my thoughts, and we'll see how they do. So hopefully you'll enjoy the game, and we'll see you next time. Keep the faith. Bye-bye.
Greetings and salutations. We are back at X Planet Games playing another game of A Song of Ice and Fire. We are playing against Jay and his free folk. He is using a crazy 10 activation list. Commander Varmir with his pets, the wolves and the Shadow Cat, which will deploy round 1, but it's going to show up there anyway. We've got Cave Dwellers with a Skin Changer with a bear. We've got Raiders with a Skin Changer and a bear, the bears. We've got Thens with Borak and his boar. We've got Bone Lord's Chosen with Rattleshard. Yeah, I guess this is the Death Star here. Got it. And then for NCUs, we've got Value Gret and Craster, which is a very solid combo. And today we are shedding our green and yellow for some pink, because we are trying out the new Boltons. So I've got an 8 activation list and a 7 activation list. I decided to go with my 8 act to try and counter his 10 act. My commander is Nero's Bolton in Cutthroats. He essentially turns you off at the expense of tokens, and he can give you tokens when you activate near him. And I've got 2 Marines of Cutthroats, one here and one here flanking him. They both have the Dreadfort Captain for Fuel by Slaughter, so it's extra heals if he feels panic, especially because they have Prey on Fear. And arguably those could be Spearmen, but I just love the aggression of Cutthroats, so we're going to go pure Cutthroats. This side is my Death Star of my own. We've got Bastard Girls with Damon Dance for me for an extra 3-inch shift and another Dreadfort Captain for the heals. This unit can shift 3, then shift 2, then shoot, which gives them a threat range of 17 inches, plus, of course, a longer charge range as well. So very, very dangerous, more mobile than they seem. And then I've got the new Zorse Riders, who just hand out tokens like candy, and when they charge, you hit really hard. My NCUs today are Fat Walda, who does more heals. We've got Shay, who does weaken and heals, and we've got Varus for his versatility. I just can't see myself using the 5-point NCUs yet, but I should really try them out because they are 5 points for a reason. Let's find out why. Today we're playing a Dance of Dragons. We've got 3 objectives down the middle. This one here is give you precision. This one here is the good one, extra hand size. And this one here is throw out a panic token. Terrain-wise, I won the dice off, and because he's essentially all melee, I decided to try and narrow the battlefield down with some Palisades. Jay countered with a Werewood for extra morale. I threw in more Palisades to, again, shorten the battlefield up, and he threw one side has an extra Werewood for just asymmetry. We diced off. I won. I chose first player. He chose table side in that situation. So the concede deployment here, he's kind of turtled up there. We'll see how that goes, though. So round 1 coming up. See you soon. End of round 1. We just kind of pushed forward, so Jay is coming across here. And, you know, just being maybe a little careful about getting too close to me. This side's, of course, fading away. My stuff more or less pushed forward. The only difference is my Cav have redeployed from the far right towards the middle. And my Cutthroats, which are now facing off the Bono Chosen on their own, are trying to use the Palisade to not fight them, essentially. And of note, I didn't shift with Damon Dancery because he does make me vulnerable in doing so. I don't need that at this moment. Anything else interesting happened? Not really. There's a vulnerable on the cat in case he ever takes the sword by accident. And that's it. So we're going to see how round 2 plays out. See you soon. Alrighty, we're at the end of round 2. We have some action. So on this side here, I pushed up the Cutthroats to use the Boar's own trade to block any front charges. So these guys ended up coming to my flank to set up a charge instead. The Wolf came to the middle, picked up, or blocked the objective. I charged it with Roos, killed the Wolf, and then picked it up, again using the Boar's own trade to block for the charges. Jay then resummoned it over here. Over here, they pushed up, and I kind of regret doing it now, because he hit me with both Bear and Varamir, killed off 8 guys, which is more damage than I expected. These guys marched past the objective, the cat intercepted them, I used a sword to kill the cat, and then they spun around here. The Zorse Riders, I just don't want to fight those guys, so they've just been circling around, and I decided to grab the objective because at the end of the day, we are close to a bunch of targets. We hopefully won't be too hampered by their movement of 2 now. So it scores 2-0, but Jay has only lost garbage that comes back, and I lost some real wounds here. I really don't know what to do here. I do want to sword and attack, but we'll see if that's the right play. See you soon. End of 3, and the battle's getting bloody. So, tail of the tape is that the Bone Lord's Chosen eventually charged the flank of the Cutthroats, dealt 11 wounds. They activated, retreated, but they could not avoid the cat. Really cool play here. So, the cat has 2 attacks, probably enough to kill the Cutthroats. Jay said, I'm going to play Overwhelming Assault just in case for the Sundering. The cat hit twice, and then I rolled a 5 and a 6, which meant that card was clutch, which means, folks, play your cards, just play your cards. This unit here, seeing that they were now here, did not want to charge in, because if I charge in, when he activates, he's going to hold the line, set up a flank charge. So they just backed up 2. I got taunted, took some tokens. In the middle, I used Shay to heal a wound, took the sword in the beginning, attacked the bear, didn't kill it, but I healed some. I was eventually able to take the bag, healed some more. Eventually attacked Varamir, hurt him, but didn't kill him, healed some more. And then when Varamir activated, I played Cold Regards. He had a token because of these guys. He's near Bruce Bolton, took 3 hits and died, which is a huge win for us. And then over on this side here, I was just badly positioned, fortunately, and Jay very smartly moved all his units out of line of sight, so they couldn't really attack. Bear charged in, I crit failed panic, and took 4 wounds in total. They're sneaking around. I still hold 2 objectives, but his boar is now holding 1, so the score is 5-2, off to round 4. Here we go. We have an exciting one, end of 4. So much stuff happened. So I was lucky to roll 3+ charge, make it in here, do some damage. He failed a 3+ charge here, which is pretty clutch. But the cat survived a 3-hit Cold Regards with the Vulnerable token, so he got into rear. I failed Panic, dropped the token onto that unit over there. They failed the Panic test from the Crown Zap, dropped the token here. This unit, Jay's done a really good job of bottling them and just not giving them opportunities to attack or do cool stuff. They got tag teamed and they're getting willed down, so I'm back where I'm going first, but back in a position where they're weak. I also popped my once per game for Walda. And they were healthy at the time, but now not so much. Kind of regret not using it. Anyway, that's that. On to round 4. The score is 5-4 for Jay.
Nope,
He's holding
5-4 for you.
Oh, yeah, sorry, 5-4 for me because he's holding 2 now, and I'm only holding 0. All right, on to round 5. Alrighty, so it is the end of the game. We decided to call it. The Boltons have been vanquished. What happened? That was cool stuff. So I led the round with a sword, but I was such in a weird state. I actually forgot that Borak here is stalwart, which gives him extra morale, makes him harder to panic. So I decided to swing with Roos in the flank. He passed panic test, unfortunately, so I didn't do much damage. He then activated this unit, and then the hold the line killed the weakened cutthroats. They swung on Bruce, did a bunch of damage. I was able to finally use his cool dance ability to shift back 3, shift back 2, to gain sight on these guys, pull the combo. They killed all but one guy, sadly, so it was very, very close. They came in, collapsed into Roos, killed him off. So at this point, because he's going to hold that, and then Val, so I activate Kill the Dog. He's going to activate Pivot with Val, charge him, take it off me. He will be up 8-5, and at this point, with only 2 trays left and surrounded, I really can't come back. It was a really good game. I think part of my mistake was I kept a few cards that required token play, and I didn't really have any ways to generate tokens. I was a little confused, like, how am I supposed to make tokens with this army? And then towards the end of the game, I drew Sadistic Games, which drops tokens, so I can kind of see the combo if the cards drop at the right time. But because I didn't drop it, I should have let go of my cards early, because I don't have Reek, and I don't have any other way besides Shay to drop extra tokens, so I felt like my cards weren't doing the most. So it's just a matter of learning the deck and learning how to use it better. But it was a good game. Thanks to Jay, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.